planning and scheduling are done before the start of the project. Done. While controlling is done after the start of the project. While controlling is done after the start of the project. Okay. Now let's see here. Whenever this method was developed in order to manage and control the project, then at that time we called it as PPS, project planning and scheduling. But with the passage of time, now it's known as CPM, critical path method. All right. So write down note. Second point of note. Method of planning and scheduling that was originally developed was called project planning and scheduling. Method of planning and scheduling that was originally developed was called project planning and scheduling. Method of planning and scheduling that was originally developed was called project planning and scheduling. Done. Bracket PPS. Done. Bracket close. Which later on converted into critical path method. Which later on converted into critical path method. Okay. So write down next methods used for project management. So first is what? Bar chart. Second is milestone chart. And third is network methods, which we follow today, network construction method. All right, done. Now let's see here. First, what is bar chart? What is bar chart? So basically, chart is a pictorial representations. All right, it is also known as Gantt chart. It's also known as Gantt chart. So here it's why it's because it's given by Henry Gantt. It's given by Henry Gantt. All right. And here we can say that bar chart can also be used for depicting the resource requirement. If you want to know the resource requirement, you can use the take the help of bar chart. As well as you can also determine the project cost and time with the help of bar chart. So what we do, this we are here time and this is here activity. Okay, so a bar chart is defined between the activity and the time, activity and the times. So write down. First point, it is given by Henry Gantt, G-A-N-T. From where you are coming? Hostel or some? So how you forget your copy pen? On your way. Oh no, there's a market, huge market. You come here now, get when you go 100 meters ahead, you will get huge market. You have phone Rapido in mobile, uh, Rapido click. Giving you Wi-Fi on. It's written. So it's given by Henry Gantt. Written. It's written by Henry Gantt. It's given by. All right. Second, it's a pictorial representation. It's a pictorial representation. Third point, bar chart can be used for bar chart can be used for depicting the bar chart can be used for depicting the DPICTING, depicting the resource requirement of a construction project. Depicting the resource requirement of a construction project. Done. Next, bar charts can be used to determine project cost and bar chart can be used to determine project cost over time. Bar chart can be used to determine project cost over time. All right. Now let's see here. How do you represent the bar chart? How do you represent the bar chart? So let's see here what this is activity. This rectangular bar defines the activity. This defines the start of activity, and this defines the end or completion of activity. All right. This defines the end or completion of activity. All right. Now let's see here. How will you show on the bar chart? All right. Or we can say that finish point. So this is the what? Representation of bar chart. It's also we can say finish with shows activities. With shows activity. All right. So now let's see here. Now time, how can you determine the time required to complete any activity? Okay. So let's see here. This is the what? Time. And this is what? Activity, or we can say that any project. All right. Suppose I'm saying that t is equal to 3, t is equal to 8. So start of activity starts at 5 third days and complete at 8 days. All right. Got it. So this defines the time required to complete of activity, or this is known as length of bar. Length of bar. All right. So this is what? Time required to complete an activity. complete an activity. All right. So time required to complete an activity is what? That's equal to finish time minus start time. Got it? So write down. If I will ask you advantage of bar chart क्या क्या है? सबसे पहले it's simple, it's easy to draw, and it's also understandable. You can easily understand it. Second, what are the progress, okay, achieved at certain time? Support at this time, what are the progress achieved? You can express in the terms of percentage. All right. And last but not the least, basically it also gives us an idea that which activity will be started at what date and at what date it will be finished. So it gives us an idea about the start and finish of the entire project. When we comes to about the disadvantage, we have also certain disadvantage. We have also certain disadvantage, like we are not knowing the lack of degree of details, whatever the sub details, what are the sub activities of this activities, we are not knowing this. We are not knowing this. All right. So write down advantage of bar chart. First, simple. Simple. Second, simple, उसी में simple comma easy to understand, easy to understand and draw. Easy to understand and draw. Done. Second, progress achieved at site. Progress achieved at site. SIT is site. Each expressed in terms of percentage. Is expressed in terms of percentage. Done. Third, it gives us an idea. It gives us an idea about the start and finish time of the entire project. It gives us an idea about the start and finish time of the entire project. Done. Now write down disadvantage of bar chart. First, lack of degree of details. Lack of degree of details. Okay. Suppose this is an activity. You have to concrete a beam, all right, but its components like reinforcement, shuttering, okay, so these are not shown. So first is what you have written, lack of degree of details. However, with the passage of time, we were able to overcome these limitations. How? What we do, we overcome by showing sub activities, by using the marking stage, suppose at this point we have sub activity, we will mark this way, we will mark this way, we will mark this way, we will mark this way. All right, got it? So write a note. This limitation is overcome by showing sub activities. This limitation is overcome by showing sub activities by using marking stage. By using marking stage as shown in figure, as shown in figure. Okay, that's known as milestones. It's known as, write down that comma, that's known as milestones. That's known as milestones. Second is what? Review of project progress. Suppose if I am saying that at this instant of time, can you say how much or what percentage of project have been achieved, completion has been done? No idea about the project completion at this point of time. All right, the graph is not showing anything. Okay, but this limitation was also overcome. So the we we show the progress of each activity by hatched lines, in the midway, along the width. So if I'm saying that up to this point the project is on time, we will hatch it by this way. If the project would be only up to this point at this time, we will hatch up to only this way. Okay, so write down. Second, review of project details, project progress. Second limitation is review of project progress. Review of project progress. Done. So write down first. It does not show the project's progress. It does not show the project's progress. Done. Second, it cannot be used as a control device. It cannot be used as a control device. So rescheduling is not possible. So rescheduling is not possible. Done. Write on a note. This limitation can be overcome by showing the progress of each activity, by hatched lines, by HATCHED, hatched lines, done in half of the Hatched lines done in half of the huh? Showing the progress of each activity by hatched lines. Done. Next, done hatched lines done in half of the width of bars. Half of the width of bars. Half of the width of bars. You're watering? Why? Light. Due to light. Sit there now. Or you can sit there. Or back. You can sit. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. So length of the correspond. What you have written? Half of the width of the bars along the length of the corresponding bar of the activity. Along the length of the corresponding bar of the activity. Done. So write down next note. Different colors are filled in the bars. Different colors are filled in the bars to show various control information. To show various control information. Okay. So write down here. Here write down in left hand side control information. And here color. All right. Got it. So obviously what is, and first is what? Anticipated progress. All right. Second is what? Actual progress. Third is progress behind schedule. Okay. So for first one is what? Black. Actual progress, green. And progress behind schedule, it's warning sign. That's red. Okay. Third, activity interrelationships. Third, limitations. Activity interrelationships. All right. So what is activity interrelationship? That means it do not show any interdependencies and relationship between various activities of the project. It does not show any interdependencies and relationship between the various activities of the project. All right. That means Suppose we know that there is one activity and there is two activity. Both starts at the same time. But at any instant of time, you cannot define this relationship with this relationship. All right. So there is no any interdependencies or relationship between the intra activities, between the various activities of the project. Written. What you have written? It does not show interdependencies and relationships. It does not show interdependencies and relationships between various activities of the project. All right. Now let's see here. These activity what? They start at the same time. Start at the what? Same time. So we can say that these activities are what? Concurrent or or parallel activities. Concurrent or parallel activities. All right. Now let's see here. I'm saying the third one. This third one started after two, after the completion of two. So this becomes 2 and 3 series activities. What? Series activities. All right. What done it? Series activities. All right. So obviously these activities are performed only after the completion of what? Some other activities. Performed only after the completion of some other activity. All right. So write down. Done. Written. Written all these things. No, right. Time. Write on fourth point. Time uncertainties. So bar charts cannot see. Suppose you are doing a project where you are uncertain about its completion time. Like you are we people are finding the vaccine for AIDS. We are not concerned about this time when we will find it. Getting na? So for that type of project, we cannot draw the bar chart. Getting? So write down bar chart cannot be useful for the project having uncertainties done uncertainties in the determination of time in the determination of time required for the completion of the project. Done. Next point, fifth. Here also we do not show critical activities. So write down critical activities of the project are not shown. Critical activities of the project are not shown. Critical activities of the project are not shown. All right. See here. When we will study later on, we will study the crashing of network in order to get the optimum time, cost optimization. So here cost optimization is not done. You cannot optimize the cost. So write down next point. No cost optimization. No cost optimization. Done. Write down next note. Bar charts are useful for only a small size conventional projects. Have you brought assignment workbook? No, for tomorrow bring. Okay. Bar charts are used for only a small size conventional projects. Small size conventional projects, especially construction and manufacturing project. Especially construction and manufacturing project. Done. So bar chart completed. All right. Now we'll study the milestone chart. On the improvement of bar chart, got another known as milestone charts. I think more or less all the limitations of bar chart were overcome in the case of milestone charts. So milestone charts are the key events. What are they? Key events. All right. They are the key events or points in which most of the completion of certain portions of any activities are shown. That marks the, like this way. Suppose this is a bar of any activity. So if I'm saying this sub activity is defined by this arrow mark, that's known as what? Milestones. That's known as milestones. So apart from arrow, these milestones can also be shown with the help of this circle, rectangular, square on the bar of that particular activity. All right. However, this milestone chart have certain limitations also, or because it does not show clearly the interdependencies between the events. This is what? Events. All right. This is what? Events. And overall, this is activity. This is activity. So write down. Milestones are the key events milestones are the key events or points which mark the completion of certain portions of an activity, which mark the completion of certain portions of an activity. of an activity. Done. Write down second point. In this comma, in this comma, activity is broken down into the sub activities. Activity is broken down into the sub activities. Yeah, into the number of sub activities. Into the number of sub activities. Or key events. Or key events, comma, each one of which can be recognized. Each one of which can be recognized during the progress of the activity. Can be recognized during the progress of the activity. Done. And through which controlling can be achieved. And through which controlling can be achieved. Done. Next, write down. It can be identified when completed as the project progress. It can be identified when completed as the project progresses. So write down, note, milestone, write this. Milestone is represented by okay, can be represented by, write down. Done. Huh? So write down limitations of milestone chart. First, see, if I'm saying the limitations of milestone chart, what we can say? Here the events, these events are in chronological order, but not in logical sequence. Here logical sequence are not cleared. I will give you example also, don't worry. Also, see here, I can understand the relationship between sub activities, this sub activities, but if I'm drawing the another activity and showing its milestone. So among this one we are knowing the relationship, but among this one we are not knowing the relationships. All right, so here we can say that relationship between two specific milestones within a task or activity can be known, but cannot be known in different tasks. That means among different tasks it cannot be known. It can be known within the task. It can be known within the task. All right, write down. It does not show clearly the it does not show clearly the interdependency between events. Interdependency between events. Done. Second, the events are in chronological order, but but the relationship between and among milestone, but the relationship between and among milestone but the relationship between and among milestones contained in different tasks contained in different tasks cannot be noted, cannot be noted. Done. Feeling hot, then suffocation. Huh? Okay, you are seeing here also curtains will be there like this black way. Okay, so write on a note. See here, bar chart is activity oriented. Bar chart is activity oriented, while milestone chart is event oriented. All right. Event event means event. Event means the point at which the activity gets started or it's completed. Activity gets started or it's completed. Let's see here. This is what? Event. This is what? Event. This shows the completion of this sub activity. All right. This shows the completion of this sub activity. This shows the starting of this sub activity. Completion of this sub activity. So milestone chart is what? This is generally asked in objective exam. Event oriented. And this bar chart is activity oriented. All right. So write down. Note. Bar chart is activity oriented, while milestone chart is event oriented. Activity oriented. Bar chart is activity oriented. Wait. Bar chart is activity oriented, while milestone chart is an event oriented. Done. Next, write down linked bar chart. LINKED, linked bar chart. It's a variation of the bar chart schedule. Done. It's a variation of the bar chart schedule. So write down. Let's see here. This is a linked bar chart. This is linked bar chart. Okay. This is the linked bar chart. All right. Getting my points? So generally it will be asked in objective type. So these are the tools that can be used in civil engineering. And CPM part is very important subject as far as every branch is concerned. Every branch has its CPM parts, maybe with other name. Okay. So write down it's a variation of the bar chart schedule. Second point, a linked bar chart shows arrows and lines to the activity. A linked bar chart shows arrows and lines to the activity. A linked bar chart shows arrows and lines to the activity and subsequent items. And subsequent items. Especially the successor and predecessor of every activity. Done. Especially the successor and predecessor of every activity. Next, write down. Linked bar chart is not unique of a project. Linked bar chart is not unique of a project. And why it's not unique? Because linked bar chart depends on the resources that's available for the project. If any project of two types, if any project, or we can say that if two projects are of same type, two projects are of same type, and at one, for the one project resources available are easily found, easily available. Okay, so many resources, we have large number of resources, more than enough. Okay, more than the requirement. Then in that case, what we'll do, we will have different link chart as compared to the resources where they are constant resources, where there are less number of resources. All right, so write down linked bar chart is not unique for a project and vary as it depend on the vary as it depend on the and vary as it depend on the resources available. Okay. Now let's see here. Here what I am getting? I am getting the interdependencies among the various activities can be shown. So since here interdependencies can be shown, so we can efficiently monitor this. We can efficiently monitor this. All right. So write down as in the linked bar chart, as in the linked bar chart, as in the linked bar chart, interdependencies of all the activities is shown. Interdependencies of all the activities is shown. So it can be used for so it can be used for monitoring of project. So it can be used for monitoring of project, including cost. Done. So write down a note. In linked bar chart, interdependency of all the activities in linked bar chart, interdependency of all the activities is shown. Done. So it can be used for monitoring of project including cost. So it can be used for monitoring of project including cost. Done. Now let's see here. Now let's see here. We have certain network analysis. Okay. We have certain network analysis. Important ones. So first is what? PERT CPM. So these are monitoring tools. PERT and CPM. So basically, these are what? Monitoring tools. So generally, these are very much important. PERT and CPM. Third is what? Unetics. 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 All right. UNETICS. So generally, it asks the name. All right. Another is less. 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 Fourth is what? TOPS. That is technology perfect. Technology operation, something like that. I'm forgetting the name. Wait. Yeah, technology operations and properly services. What is top? Technology, operations, and perfectly services. Another is GRT, that is very important. Graphical evaluation and review technique. Graphical evaluation and review technique. All right. Another is scans, shuttle connector analysis network. Shuttle connector analysis network. All right. Another is also KISS. Ninth is what? DCPM, design and construction project management. So these are basically important tools, but out of this only you have to study PERT and CPM. GRT has to be studied, but not important. All right. So write down. Arrow on arrow diagram, arrow on node diagram. So that's what? Done. This is not arrow, this is activity. This is activity on node diagram. Done. Now write down. Advantage of network analysis. So first, it shows the interrelationship between events and activity. Here we'll study this two network analysis in details in further classes. So where we'll find that we can completely show the interdependencies between events and activities. Also, since interdependencies can be shown, it means that we can easily control it. We can easily reschedule it. We can easily reschedule it. That helps in the controlling of the project. Also, this network analysis can be used for analysis or project management of big projects having large number of activities. You are constructing, suppose, 100-story buildings. It's a big project. And also whenever there are uncertainties like research projects, okay, so there also we can use these tools. We can also use these tools. So write down. It shows the interrelationship between events and activities. It shows the interrelationship between events and activities. Second, it helps in rescheduling the it helps in rescheduling the it helps in rescheduling the rescheduling only rescheduling that is that is helpful in controlling of project that is helpful in controlling of project that is helpful in controlling of project. Done. So next, it can be used for big and even for highly complicated projects. Big and event for highly complicated projects. It can be used for big big and even and even for highly complicated projects consisting of a large number of activities consisting of a large number of activities. Consisting of a large number of activities. All right. It can be used for project or activities it can be used for project or activities having time uncertainties. Having time uncertainties. Done. Now, let's study the work breakdown structure. You have studied in college, school. There is hierarchy, director, principal, head of the department, as teacher, assistant teacher, peon. All right. So work breakdown structure, that means that identifies the functional elements of the project and their relationships. All right. So write down. For tomorrow, bring assignments and workbook. Work breakdown structure is a device that identifies the work breakdown structure is a device that identifies the functional elements of a project functional elements of a project and their interrelationship. And their interrelationship. And write down work breakdown structure follows top to bottom approach. Work breakdown structure follows top to bottom approach. And it's usually triangular in shape. And it's usually triangular in shape. What I will do, I will just fix this camera on the wall in coming days. Okay, remove this one, this table. All 9 chairs will be here. Okay, so we are actually next, write down line of balance. Line of balance. So basically, line of balance is a programming tool. It's a programming tool, and it was invented by a company, Goodyear company. Okay, so basically, it was developed for both programming and control of both repetitive as well as non-repetitive projects. All right, so write down line of balance, LOB, technique of programming and control of project, technique of technique of planning, sorry, technique of programming and control of project. Done. Huh? Was oriented by the Goodyear company. GOODYEAR, Goodyear company. Second, it was developed for the programming and control of. It was developed for the programming and control of both repetitive. It was developed for the programming and control of both repetitive and non-repetitive projects. Okay. So write down third point here. Time is usually plotted on horizontal axis. And activities are plotted on vertical axis. Done. Written. So write down last point. It enables the optimum utilization of resources. It enables the optimum utilization of resources. Done. Improvement in work efficiency. Improvement in work efficiency. And interference free scheduling of a wide range of activities. And interference free scheduling of a wide range of activities. हो गया? Done. Now first chapter completed. Your first chapter